What about Sheikha, Shahad, or Hiba? Anyone? All right. So let me switch on my camera for a while so that you can see me. For a while later on, I close it. So this is Mohsen speaking from Utah Sabri. Thank you very much for joining this session. We expected a large number of students. Maybe they are still sleeping. Allah alam, God knows. So it doesn't matter. I mean, since you guys showed up, so I'll start the session. I try to make it brief and to the point. I am going to make you familiar with the most important parts of IELTS speaking. And at the end of the session, I would like to know your feedback, whether the session was beneficial or not. So hopefully you will you will experience a fruitful session, inshallah. I try to make it simple, okay? I understand that most of you are looking for band score 6, not above that. So I try to, keep it in that level, okay? Because as you know that IELTS band score is up to 9, which is a very advanced level. But I'm going to cover up to band 6, 6.5, or maybe 7. So it is necessary for everyone to know the strategies and techniques before taking IELTS test. And in today's session, we are going to talk about the most important things. I'm sure that you have watched so many videos on YouTube here and there, and you got so many things, and maybe somehow you are confused what to do and what not to do. So I myself watched so many, and I myself try to collect all those good ideas, and I collected all of them, and today I'm going to share them with you. And based on my own experience and based on the knowledge that I have from my students, from Utah students, I'm going to teach the most critical things that you need to know for a speaking test. All right. Okay, let's get started. If you're ready, so let's get started. Get your coffee ready, and we are going to start our speaking test. So welcome to UTAS Ebri. This is a course, and I would like to thank Ms. Sharon, who is, our boss. Actually, she is the one who is doing all these community service programs, and she's doing a great job. So we'll start with the first part. I try to make it a very short and to the point. Shabab, when you are going to take the speaking test, there are 4 criteria, okay, that you need to keep it in your mind. Your examiner will test you based on these 4 things. Fluency, yani how much you are able to speak non-stop, okay? This is fluency. Coherence, and how much you are able to understand. Lexical resource, yani the range of your vocabulary, that how many vocabularies are you able to use in your speaking, and grammatical range of accuracy, that whether you are able to just use simple grammar or complex grammar. Okay, they will check all these things. And the last one is pronunciation, your talaffuz, whether you are able to speak English with the good and proper standard pronunciation or not. Maybe you ask, teacher, what about accent, lahja? What about accent? Is it important or not? Is it gonna affect my mark or not? The answer is no. It doesn't matter which accent you are going to talk, whether American, British, Omani, Indian accent, any accent is acceptable as long as you are speaking clearly. So you should pronounce the vocabulary in a very clear and correct way. For example, one of the common mistake, for example, this is just a small mistake that many students do is this. May I will write it here. I would like to ask you whether you're able to pronounce this word or not. Okay, this one, Shabab. Would you pronounce it, please? One by one, everyone. Yalla, it's very easy.
Comfortable.
Okay, anyone else? Thank you.
Comfortable.
Then, okay. Anyone else? That's it. So everybody think that it is comfortable. صح? So today you are going to learn that you have been doing a big mistake so far. We are not pronouncing this word as comfortable. All right? It is wrong. You see? The correct pronunciation for this word is comfortable. Comfortable. شوف comf هذا comf بعدين comfortable. Comfortable. I'm not comfortable in this room. I'm not comfortable with this suit. I don't feel comfortable when I speak in Arabic because I speak like Bengali in Arabic. My English is kharban. My Arabic is kharban. It's very bad. I'm not comfortable speaking English with others, for example. So it's true. Many of us think that when I'm talking English, my pronunciation is correct. Like breakfast, breakfast, for example. There are so many, but I just, this was just a warm up that I wanted to show that how much of everything will be counted in IELTS. So you need to be careful. All right, let's today we are going to Shabab talk about the first part of speaking. So I would like to thank Miss Sharon for this PPT as well because she has listed the most important points. So as you know that guys, most of you are taking the test face to face. And of course, when you enter the room, your speaking test will be recorded. Yani you should not talk any irrelevant thing when you enter the room because the examiner is going to record the session. So be careful about that. Do not say that, oh, teacher, please help me, this and that. This will be a bad thing because they are recording it, all right? And of course, your exam will be informal. Some students think that this is IELTS and I should speak formal, rasmi language. No, IELTS is not a formal test. That means you should not speak a formal English. It's not necessary to speak in formal English. Let me just make it very simple. Just imagine that you are going to a coffee shop and you want to talk with someone else. You're just going to coffee shop and there is one, for example, American, and that American is a tourist and he is going to ask you these questions. So how are you going to reply to that person? In a very informal, غير رسمي way, right? So IELTS exam is like this. So you need to be yourself. You need to go with the flow. I mean, it should be absolutely natural. بشكل طبيعي, you should be natural. Many students memorize some, what is the sentences and all, and they speak like a robot. Of course, the examiner will understand that this student is just, telling some sentences, that he or she memorized. So this will be a weakness. So you need to be creative. Okay, when you're speaking English, you should be natural. You should uh, be creative when it comes to giving ideas. Okay, when you are, of course, in part one and two. In part one, especially, maybe you will get some topics that you already know them. Okay, if you go through the samples, maybe you will be lucky and you'll get the same topic that you studied before. But at that time, you are not supposed to. You are not going to say the similar things. Yani, you should speak in such a way to show that you are speaking naturally. All right, it should not be like a robot. So of course the duration will be 11 to 14 minutes. Okay, the first thing that you're going to do, it will be greeting. The examiner will greet you, and then they ask he or she asks your ID card. You should have your ID card, of course. So today we are going to talk about part one. So part one is going to be a general questions, and most general question about yourself. It is similar, to what you studied in level 4 and 3 in foundation program. If you are a foundation student, it will be absolutely similar. All right, but you need to know many more strategies and knockout points that you should keep it in your mind in the IELTS test. All right, so let's dive in right now into the details. All right, uh, I try to collect the most important things. So Shabab, today I start, before I show you the questions of part one and all this stuff or the strategies, I would like to make you familiar with the most important linking words, which are super important in your IELTS exam. You need to know linking words and some expressions and vocabulary that can help you a lot if you know them. I understand that there are so many vocabulary, there are so many linking words, and you will be confused sometimes. Ya Rabbi, should I memorize all these linking words or should I memorize all these vocabulary for the IELTS? I know that this is a difficult task, but this is also wrong. Some students, they just read some kalimat that they find in some books which are written most critical essential words for IELTS, and they keep reading them like a list. No, this is wrong, Shabab. You cannot what is it, remember those big kalimat. So what you need to know, you need to learn those kalama, those vocabulary that you are able to use them in a very natural way in the context for each what is a topic. There are some certain kalimat that you are more comfortable with them and a little bit easier to remember. So you don't need to use fancy any very difficult and complicated, confusing kalimat. So it's not necessary if you speak even simple language, but if you speak it in a correct grammar, that will be absolutely fine. All right. And then we'll talk about the techniques and how to answer the question as well. Okay, so before everything, we're going to talk about the linkers and some important vocabulary and phrases that can help you a lot in different topics. If you know these phrases, these are just some. Of course, you need to learn so many more, but these are the most important thing that I found them very useful for students. So the first thing, Shabab, is using simple past tense. Yes, simple past tense. A vast majority of students are not able to use simple past tense correctly. They have done level 4, but still they don't know how to make a sentence in simple past tense. As you know that in the IELTS exam, you will get so many questions which are related to past tense, and you need to know how to use simple past tense in your speaking. When the question is مرتبط to something in the past, your answer also should be in the past. You cannot speak it in present or future. So Shabab, you need to be very careful. These are very, these are just some examples that I wrote. Later on, we go deeply. For example, when they ask, when did you travel? Let's talk about traveling. When did you travel, last time? I traveled to India. I traveled to India 2 years ago. Can you see my screen, Shabab? By the way, I didn't ask you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Everything is clear. My voice is clear. Okay. I traveled to India 2 years ago. I spent, شوف, if you don't know the past, the ماضي of spend, which is spent, then of course it will be a problem. So all I want to say, you need to be familiar with simple past tense, ya shabab. You should know how to use irregular, especially irregular verbs like spend, spent, go, went. Okay, of course there is a list, and your teacher already gave you in level 3, level 4, even in level 2. So you need to study them before taking the IELTS exam. You need to be familiar. Or I had a great, amazing time. Or if sometimes they ask you, maybe, did you play football when you were a child? Yes, I did. We cannot say, yes, I am. Because the question is started with did. If the question is started with do you have a brother? Yes, I do. Do you have a car? Yes, I do. But if they ask you with did you play football when you were a child? Yes, I did. Actually, في الحقيقة, this word is a very nice one. You can use it in your speaking. Actually, في الحقيقة, actually, I used to. A very, very nice phrase that you can use it in your speaking test when you're talking about past tense, يا شباب. Used to. Use to. Take notes, ya shabab. Do not just listen. Take notes. All right? This is a good habit that you need to keep it in your mind all the time. All right? Take notes. So I used to play a lot with my friends. Actually, when I was a child, I used to play football every day. So I used to. Later on, I will teach you the meaning of used to. So don't worry about it. Okay. Or we say that when we want to make it negative, something, an action in the past, uh, we say that I didn't or I did not. I didn't play if you want to make it negative. All right. Many students don't know how to make it negative. They don't know how to make a simple past tense into negative. So this is the way. It's pretty easy. I didn't play. When you're using did, your fail, of course, is always simple. We don't say I didn't played, I didn't went. لا. The fail always come infinitive بشكل السادة, in a simple form. Okay, keep it in your mind. When you see did, خلاص, the fail should come simple. I didn't play football because I was not interested at all. I was not interested. شوف, again, you got to be careful here. مهتم, interested. Many students say interesting, which is totally a different, completely, interesting is totally a different thing. So I didn't play football because I was not interested. I was not مهتم. I was not interested at all. Instead of saying I didn't like it, you can use interested at all. Then شباب? So far, we learned so many nukat. So always take notes of all these nukat. How to use used to, how the meaning of interested in, interested, or when we use did, the fail should be simple. So see, all of them are nukta. You need to keep it in your mind. Okay, now we came to this word that when we want to talk about a habit, okay? When we want to talk about our past habit, something in the past before, يعني خلاص, يعني no longer exists, يعني not this habit that is not with you right now. You don't have خلاص, you had it before. Okay, we use used to. Look at the question, the examples. You will feel it. You will feel the meaning actually. I mean, you will understand the meaning. So Shabab, I always say, I mean, your teacher always say that when you want to learn new grammatical rules, when you want to learn new kalimat, learn them with the help of examples in the sentences. Do not learn kalimat or anything just by saying used to or comfortable, comfortable, and mortah, comfortable, comfortable, comfortable. No, you should use it in the context. You should use it in an example. Then you will learn it in a nice sentences, in a sentence that you can understand it. Then it will go to your mukh. So it is very important that you should use them in the sentence. So Shabab, sure. I used to. Maybe they will ask you, okay, tell me about your childhood. Uh, did you play football when you were a child? Well, I used to play football when I was a child. For that, this is a habit. And before, when you were a child, you had the habit to play football, but now you are not playing football. I used to play football when I was a child, but now I'm not playing football because I'm not able to, or because I'm super busy, whatever. Okay. Or this one, I used to have a dog. And before you had a dog, now you don't have it. So what does it mean? I used to have a dog. And before you had a dog, but now you don't have it. Now you don't have it. I used to have a dog. I used to steal سرقة, money from my mom's bag when I was a child. Maybe they will ask you a question, about, your childhood memories or anything else. So you can use, for example, I used to steal money from my mom's bag when I was a child. Okay. Or when I was younger, sure. When I was younger, I used to go to gym. شوف شباب, after used to, keep it in your mind, the fail should be again what? Present. This is a قانون again. Like did, the present, when you see did, the fail after that, the word after that is a fail. So that should be simple. In used to also, the fail after used to must be simple. Sure. I used to go. I used to play. I used to sing. I used to drive when I was in grade 12, when I was a child, when I was in foundation. Okay? So the fail should be simple. Write it down. Don't forget it. All right. Let's go. So these are some irregular verbs. For example, these are some kalamat that many students don't know. For example, when they want to talk in the past, they don't know the madi of teach. For example, the madi of teach is what? Taught. Mr. Siam taught me, in level 3. He was my teacher and he taught me is speaking and listening. Sure. He taught me, not he learned me. Again, a common mistake that many students do. He learned me, I don't know what, this and that. لا, مو learn me. You are a طلاب, you are learning English. If somebody is teaching, he taught you. Then, Mr. Siam taught me English in level 3. Or I am learning a new language. Or I learned or learned. Both of them are correct. One is American and the other was British. So both of them, the modi of learn is learn or learned. Okay, I learned a new language, last summer. Spoke. I spoke, when 2 days ago, I spoke with my brother, for example. Okay, the madi of have is had, go is went, spend spent. For example, when I was in Dubai, I spent 1,000 Omani riyal. See, this is past. I spent 1,000 Omani riyal. Maybe the question they ask you is about spending money, is about shopping. So maybe the question is related into past. So you should know how to use spent into in the past tense. زين شباب? So you need to know all irregular and regular verbs. Okay, talking about future again. Some students don't know how to talk in future. It is very important in part 1, part 2, or part 3 that you should know how to talk about future as well. Maybe the question is, how useful will English be for your future? So how are you going to answer it? Okay, so your answer also should be related to future. Of course, English will be extremely useful for me in future. For example, I can get a good job. I can get a well-paid job, or I can be able to communicate, تواصل, communicate with others. شوف. So you need to know how to use future. For example, future, we have some kalimat like will, going to. For example, I will go to India next week. I have a plan to go to India next week, or I am going to. Going to again means will, but here the difference between will and going to, will is spontaneous, and when you are talking, you make the decision. For example, I will go to a coffee shop right now. But going to, you made the decision already, and خلاص 100%. I am going to buy a car tomorrow or next week. All right. So going to also, we use it a lot. When we talk about mustaqbal, we use going to. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to get married after 2 years. I'm going to travel to India next year. I'm going to, I don't know, learn a new language in this summer. Plan to the same way. I plan to improve my English in this summer. I intend to. So you cannot, in English, in the IELTS exam, Shabab, you should not only know one way of speaking. You should know a wide range of variety. Yani تنوع, variety should be in your speaking. Then your examiner will give you a good mark. If you keep saying that I will, the examiner will say, Ya akhi, this students only know how to use I will. Khalas, he knows I will. Or, for example, you want to talk about likes. I like. Then examiner will think, Ya akhi, this students only know how to give sentences or example with like. He doesn't know any synonym for like. So shuf, here you need to know synonyms. You need to know how to speak, in different tariqa. Okay, so it is very, very important. Variety in speaking, variety in using vocabulary or even structures. All these are important. Okay, so these are some examples. I'm going to learn a new language. I plan to travel to India. So you learn all this thing in foundation if you're a foundation student. So these must be easy for you. About likes, Shabab, again, this is super important because you will get questions related to likes and dislikes. So here you need to use a wide range of variety, wide range of vocabulary or synonyms and all. Yani you should not keep saying I like. No. So you need to keep changing it, all right? For example, these are some of the most important synonyms that you can see. For example, I am interested in. شوف, interested, not interesting, ya shabab. Be careful. Be careful. Many of you are not careful, and that's why you make mistakes. We say that this phone is so interesting because I can use 3 WhatsApp at the same time. Interesting, yani so zain, yani وكان nice. But interested يعني مهتم. I like يعني I am interested in learning new languages, or in a different way. Again, I am crazy about. The preposition حروف جر is about. Again, if you want to use this word, you should know that the preposition of crazy is about here. Some students say, I'm crazy shopping. What? If you're not sure, do not use it. So be careful. It's not level 4 exam, all right? A speaking test that if you make a small uh, grammatical mistakes, maybe you say that خلاص أمور طيبة, my teacher may not gonna deduct my mark. In the IELTS, everything will be counted. So crazy about, يعني أنا مجنون, يعني I love it. I love it. I'm crazy about shopping. I'm crazy about playing football. I'm crazy about driving cars. شوف. This one. Oh, this one is amazing, Shabab. Many native speakers use this. I am into. شوف شباب. I am into cars. يعني I love cars. I am into fashion. I'm into music. I am into makeup for بنات. Means I like these things. زين شباب? I am into is another way. Or we use enjoy, which is simple. I enjoy. After enjoy, the fail will be ing. I enjoy playing video games. I enjoy playing football. شوف, I enjoy playing football. I enjoy driving cars. Or I am fond of. I am fond of driving car. Again, of the roof jar. And after that, your fail will be ing. You should be careful. Fond of driving. I am fond of, I don't know, watching movies. Not watch movies. I am fond of watching movies. Or I am keen on. Again, because on is roof jar. Again, the fail will be ing. I am keen on. So all these sentences that you can see, phrases, we use them when we want to talk about likes. When you want to say, I like this and that. Okay. What about dislikes? For dislikes, the simple one, I don't like taking selfies. Okay. I don't like playing football. I don't like smoking. I don't like, I don't know, washing doing the dishes. Okay. Or you can use a idiom. هذا شباب. This is a very nice one. Again, using idioms also, not a lot. At least, you know, in your part 1, maybe you can use 2 or 3 idioms in your speaking, and that will also increase your band score. At least you should know some idioms, Shabab. But I will teach you some of them, all right? For example, cup of tea. Cup of tea. Playing football is not my cup of tea. Yani, I'm not interested and I don't like it. That's not my favorite. Playing football is not my cup of tea, Habibi. It's not my cup. Yani, I don't like it. That's not my favorite. For example, I said, Hassan, yalla, let's go play football. La, la, la. To be honest, playing football is not my cup of tea. I don't like football at all. Playing football is not my cup of tea. I never play football because it is, you know, it is a very dangerous game. Sure, it's not my cup of tea. Or it's my cup of tea. You can use it in a positive way. You know, for example, playing football is my cup of tea. You can use it in that way as well. Or how to make negative into not into. I'm not into sports. For example, they ask you, do you play? Do you like sports? You said, well, actually, I am not into sports, but time to time I play tennis. Sure. I am not into. I'm not into. يعني I don't like it. خلاص. أنا أكرهك. Hate. Well, honestly speaking, في الصراحة, I hate playing chess because it is so confusing. I hate, or I can't stand. This is again for those students who want to get high band score, advanced one. Some of them, Shabab, are difficult for you, maybe. So ما يحتاج, not necessary that you use something which is very difficult. learn the one which is easier for you to learn, to memorize. Okay? You don't need to learn everything or memorize everything. You should use those phrases, those kalimat that you feel more comfortable with them. All right, Shabab? So just keep it easy for yourself. I can't stand. I can't stand cleaning dishes. يعني I cannot tolerate يتحمل يعني I can't يعني I cannot يعني I hate it. I cannot stand يعني I hate cleaning dishes. Actually, I do. I can't stand doing dishes. Doing dishes also is correct. Cleaning dishes also. Okay, when we want to give opinion, this one is a very common one, Shabbat. They will ask you about opinion. You should not keep saying in my opinion, or I believe, La. In IELTS, again, keep changing. Variety, تنوع ضروري. To me, okay, what is your idea about, online learning? To me, so to me, then the examiner say, oh, wow, this student, he or she is a little bit sharper, mashallah. To me, sure. Or I would say that regarding online teaching, online learning, I would say that, I would say that in my idea, actually. I would say that. Or I strongly believe that, okay? Or this one. Maybe sometimes you are not sure. You say, actually, I'm not sure, but I think online learning is better than in-class learning or classroom learning. I'm not sure, but I think. Sure. I'm not sure, but I think, or I strongly believe that online learning is way better than classroom learning. Okay? Or this one is for advanced students. To the best of my knowledge, again, for example, for some students, this one is difficult. صح? So, Habibi, no need to learn it because you may not gonna use it in your speaking. You cannot remember it. But if you are able to memorize it, if you are able to say it in a natural, بشكل طبيعي, in a natural way, then you can use it. To the best of my knowledge, يعني as far as I know. For example, they ask you, what is your idea, opinion about, for example, the same way, online learning. To the best of my knowledge, online learning is not, useful for students. It has many flaws. To the best of my knowledge, yani, as far as I know. Same meaning, as far as I know. As far as I know, online learning is not good for students, for example, as far as I know. I suppose is again another word, phrase that I'm not going to tell you because you will be confused. This one, to be perfectly honest, Shabab, this is a very nice one. I wanted to use it in your speaking. When I ask you questions at the end of the session, try to use it, okay? When I ask you some question about when I ask your idea, you can use it. To be perfectly honest, يعني في الصراحة, or honestly speaking, or to be honest. شوف شباب, all of them are correct. To be honest, to be perfectly honest, or you can say honestly speaking. Honestly speaking, uh, um, uh, honestly speaking, online learning is very convenient for students. Convenient يعني very مرتاح يعني easy. Okay? To be perfectly honest or honestly speaking, we can use them at the beginning of the sentence and you can give your idea. زين شباب? All right. Adding information. So for adding information, you know it. We should not use very formal one. Yani this is not writing in addition to or this and that. Yani it's not necessary to say to speak like that. So Shabab, as again I'm saying, you need to be natural. You need to be tabi'i, natural. You should sound natural. You should not speak as if you are, you wrote an essay and your answer is like an essay paragraph. Okay? So try to be informal and natural. Also, plus, on top of that, you know, these are very nice. Also, plus, on top of that. Okay? So when you want to give add information, you can use this kalimat. About however and but, of course, many of you know how to use them, but about however, I know you know how to use but however, try to use it in your sentences, okay? For example, I like so many things, such as sports and food. However, when you want to give contrast, okay? However, I don't like seafood and henna, which I hate it. أنا أكرهك والله العظيم. Henna, everybody knows, my students know. Henna, from childhood, since childhood, I hate the smell of henna, to be honest, even the color. I don't know why. So, I like so many things, such as sports and food. However, I don't like seafood. You know, when you want to give two different opinions, when you want to talk about, when you want to show contrast, okay? That we can use however. However, any here means but, okay? Not only, but also. Again, when you know such a phrases, your examiner will be impressed and jazb, and he like it. If you speak, you know, complex or different structures in your speaking. Actually, these are foundation things, but many of you did not pay attention, and that's why you are not using it. My level 2 students learned how to use not only but also, as far as I know, honestly speaking, they use them because they practice it a lot in the class. Zain Shabab, you need to learn at least these kalamat, how to use them in the sentences. Not only but also, see how to use it. He is, for example, you're talking about someone, you're describing someone, or you're talking about a subject, you can use this one. He is not only handsome, handsome means wasim, okay? Mr. Ali is not only handsome, but also smart or intelligent and shatar. He is, and when you want to emphasize on two things, when you want to add two things at the same time, okay? For emphasizing, for ta'kid. He is not only handsome, but also smart. See? Or another example. Um, Online learning is not only convenient and easy and comfortable, مرتاح. Online learning is not only convenient, but also cheap, رخيص, for students. Sure. I want one student to give me an example. يلا. It's your time. I don't want you to fall asleep behind your, before your, I don't know, cell phone or laptop. Yalla. Not only, but also, make a sentence for me. Let me drink a little bit of water. Not only, but also. Yalla, shabab. Not only, but also. Give me a sentence. Anybody? Not only, but also, shabab.
Water. It is not also. It is not. Uh, it is not only useful, but also. It is not expensive.
Okay. But what? What is not is? I missed the first part.
Water.
What is not?
Water.
Water. Ah.
Yeah.
Water is not only what? Water is not only
Useful.
useful.
Yeah.
But also.
But also not expensive.
No, no, not. Don't use that. But also cheap.
Okay.
Water is not only beneficial for body, but also, for example,
Cheap.
vital. Okay, this is
Okay.
accepted. And you understood how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Any other examples? Something related to learning English. Or describing someone. For example, describe your favorite teacher. Okay? Describe your favorite. Describe your favorite teacher. Yalla. Use not only but also. For example, they ask you to describe your teacher or describe someone from your family member. كلمات like helpful, kind, responsible. شوف, you need to know so many كلمات for every topic شباب. You need to make yourself familiar. These are some كلمات يعني responsible يعني مسؤول, kind يعني طيب, helpful, someone who help.
Can I
Anybody?
give you the solution?
Yeah, sure. Not only, but also describe, for example, one of your family members or your teacher. Yalla.
She is not only the smart, but also the great.
But also great. Dana.
Yes.
Yes, she is not only kind, but also responsible, for example. She is not only smart, but also helpful. She is not only responsible, but also humble. Humble مو يعني? What does it mean? Anybody in Arabic? متواضع. متواضع. Responsible, مسؤول, kind. You should know these كلمات are so easy يا شباب. Okay, I'm going to delete it. Okay, that's it. شوف شباب, English is like this. Your speaking will be improved with small, simple things like this. Not only, but also how to use however, how to use honestly speaking. Sure. It is like you need to like it. You need to like it. You need to love learning. You should not learn it like a robot. You should enjoy. Learning English is a process that you should enjoy it. If you enjoy it, then the process of learning will be powerful, strong. Then you will learn faster. You learn, in a better way. But if you learn it by force, with so much pressure and with hatred, yeah, أخي, this English, wallahi, is so bad. It's so difficult. I hate this. Everything is so confusing. It is like a riyadiyat, it's like a math, it's like a physics. You make it a big thing. So of course, it will be difficult then. Okay? You need to love English, then everything will be easy with the small things, Shabab. I myself learned it in that way. Yalla, let's continue. Aha, this one. Anybody knows the meaning of this? Anybody knows? Say it in Arabic, Adi. What does it mean? Level 2. When you were level 2, you had this word. Actually, level 1, I guess. And you need it in your speaking a lot. أغلب. Yes. So, Shabab, you can say it with بدون west. See, the majority. شوف the pronunciation. The majority of. يلا, let's make a sentence, Shabab. The majority of طلاب. The majority of students. يلا, make a sentence. The majority of students what? Cannot what? تكلم.
Speaking English.
English. خلاص. This is a very easy sentence. Now it's your turn. خلاص, I gave you one sentence. Come on. Now you learn the majority. أغلب, أكثر. شوف how beautiful it is. You can use also most of students, or the vast majority. Vast, it make it very nice, yani, very advanced if you use vast. The majority of. Yalla, give me another sentence example, yalla shabab.
The
Give me
majority
another.
of teachers
Uh-huh.
from Africa.
The majority of teachers are from Africa.
Africa.
Very good. Very good. That's it. That's it, شوف. With small sentences, phrases, yani the speaking will be improved. And you can use this majority in different topics, صح? When you know خلي the main template, يعني the key كلمات, the most important, phrases or كلمات, then خلاص مرتبة, you will be able to make sentences. You yourself, you yourself should make sentences. That's why I said that you should be creative. If you want to improve your speaking, you should be creative. First, learn the main and the most essential or important kalimat and phrases, and use them in your own examples. Then, of course, it will be easy. Now, for example, you learn the majority of, صح? You need to use this majority of in different sentences for yourself. The majority of students, the majority of teachers, the majority of Omani people, the majority of children, the vast majority of people, the majority of countries. Sure. Like this. That's it. Easy. Breezy. Now, another word. One tariqa that you can improve your speaking score is synonyms. Synonyms. For example, most of you always use difficult, صح? Of course, you need to know another kalimat, synonym for difficult. One word can be used as challenging. Voice is not coming? Oh, okay. Challenging. For example, learning English is challenging for some students. So instead of saying learning English is very difficult, I don't know, learning, I don't know, driving a car is very difficult. Instead of that, you can use different types, different kalimat, vocabulary, like challenging. For example, it's a very simple word. It's very challenging. Challenging here, for example, it means difficult. All right? Or for another word, highly important or important. Many of you only use important. Ya Shabab, you need to know synonyms, as I said that. So I wrote 3 synonyms here, which are very easy to remember. One of them is highly. So how beautiful it is. Learning English is highly, yani very. Instead of saying very always, you can use highly important. So the examiner will like it. Wow, highly important. MashaAllah, nice English. Or you can use this word, extremely. شوف the pronunciation, extremely. Extremely, yani very much, too much. Extremely important. Learning English is extremely important. All right? So these kalimat, or super, which is informal, and Americans use it a lot. Super. But don't say that super. Huh? Be careful. Pe. You need to practice this again. Superna. Super. Super important. Learning English is super important, actually. Nowadays, learning English is super important. These days, learning English is extremely important. All right? So, Shabab, when you want to talk about important things and you want to say very important, do not always say very important, Say extremely important or super important or highly important. Yalla, give me a sentence with extremely important. Yalla, Shabab. Give me a sentence and use extremely. in your sentence. Yalla. Come on. We should go faster, Shabab. There are a lot of things I need to share. Extremely. Or highly. Nobody?
Extremely important for student to learn English.
No, forget about learning. You should say it is extremely. It is extremely important to learn English for students. That will be. It is extremely, yeah. But change it. Don't use it for Khali learning English. For something else. Give me in a different context.
Extremely important
No, no,
for
no, no.
body.
Use no, 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 no. Use extremely at the end. Shuf, like this, for
Okay.
example.
Okay. Water.
Learning English is extremely
Extremely important.
important. أيوة شوف is extremely important. Now you make a sentence.
Water for
Or food.
body or food.
Okay, food.
Did we should for body is extremely important or just extremely important?
You should use فعل after food. يعني
Oh,
what is فعل for after food? Food, blah, 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 extremely
extremely important.
important. Okay, but what is missing?
Eating.
No, no, no. After food, what we get? You need to use a verb. Food, what? Extremely important. To be verbs. What are to be verbs? Am, is, are. Food.
Yeah.
Food what? Food is. Without is, fail does not have hearts. Fail
Oh,
is. Food is extremely important. I believe, for example, I believe that online learning is extremely important these days. I believe that online learning is, again, we don't is wrong. All right. So after the session, of course, you need to make more sentences. Now, we don't have time. That's why we need to be a little bit fast. Okay, how often? Many students don't know even the meaning of how often, and they go and take the IELTS test. Yeah, it is, and some of you pay so much money for classes here and there, and they only teach you the strategies, the techniques only. But your problem, the most of you guys, your main problem is not strategies, ya Shabab, in speaking. Your main, main problem is English itself. How to use, lack of فقدان, lack of vocabulary, lack of grammar. You have problem in pronunciation, in fluency. When you don't know a proper grammar, or when you don't know how to use kalimat in the sentences, how do you expect to get, for example, band score 5, 5 point, or 5 or 6? So you need to improve your general English, actually. Your general simple English. And when you want to chat with someone in English, that should be improved. So do not make this mistake and pay too much money for many classes that they only teach you only the techniques. So why I did not start with techniques today? Because I know your main problem is this: grammar, how to use kalimat, synonym, antonym, pronunciation, these things. All right. How often? يعني كم مرة? They ask many questions, maybe like this. How often do you read books? And students don't know. Level 4 students don't know the meaning of how often and don't know how to answer it. So who is Ghaltan? The teacher is Ghaltan or you are Ghaltan? Who has to be blamed? So when you are not careful, when you are not feeling responsible, you will face with such a problems. You just imagine you go to the IELTS exam, the IELTS test, and this teacher, the examiner asks you how often, and you don't know the meaning of how often. Of course, that the examiner will say, yeah, the band score 3 maybe. And it will give you a low mark in the vocabulary actually or comprehension. So you need to be careful about how often and كم مرة. Okay, how often do you read books? How to answer it? I usually read books, for example, twice a week. Shabab, practice it twice and 2 times. Twice a week. Don't say twice in a week. Twice a week. Or we can say I read books once a week and 1 time a week. Once a week, twice a week. You need to practice these things. Twice a week, once a week. Or more than twice, we say 3 times a week. At least learn these 3 things. Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. And ما يحتاج to tell the truth يا أخي. No need to be absolutely super honest, صادق in your speaking test. لا. Be a كذاب عادي. They do not put a machine, lying detector to find whether you are lying or no. No. Whatever it comes to your mind, just say it. Something which is you are able to say it in English, just say that one. Maybe you don't read books at all. Okay, you can say I don't read books at all, but you need to explain it. You cannot say I don't like reading books and khalas. No. Do you read books? No, I don't like reading books. It's a short answer. بعدين we come to how to answer Shabab. Now we are just learning the kalamat, okay? Then I will teach you how to answer the question, all right? Once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week, okay? When we talk about causes, okay? These sentences are nice. One of the main reasons. شوف, one of the main دلائل. شوف, one of the main. رئيسي, main, or major. These two are synonym. You need to know the meaning of these 2 kalimat. Shabab. One of the main. One of the main or major. One of the main reasons is that, for example, they will say, what are the main, why, for example, students are poor at speaking and is ضعيف in speaking. Then you say the reason, well, as far as I know, one of the main دلائل, one of the main reasons is that students, for example, one of the main reasons is that هذا شوف, this is a template. Just remember this one. One of the reasons is that. One of the reasons is that. And make the sentences. One of the reasons is that students are not responsible and they are not مسؤول. Or students are not, what is it? Students are not careful in the classroom, or they do not pay attention in the classroom, or they do not review their lessons, a lot. One of the reasons is that blah 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 blah, whatever it is. So this is for when you want to talk, when you want to give reason about dalail, okay, causes. About compare and contrast. Again, you need to know phrases about compare and contrast, Shabab, because you will get questions related to that also as well. See, for example, these are some easy ones. College and school are different in many طريقة, ways. The main difference is that, so the main different, no. Many students say that the main different is that. غلط. The main difference is that. So شوف, college and school are different in many ways. Here we use different. college and school are different in many ways. Maybe they ask you about college and school or anything else, and when maybe they will ask you to compare and contrast. So you need to use this kind. The main difference is, for example, environment. The main difference is the level of the students. The main difference is teachers. Okay? Or college and school are similar. Here is different. Here is similar in many aspects. Aspects again means ways, طريقة. The main similarity is, شوف شباب, similarity. Again, you need to be careful how to make sentences. Or here, Mercedes is far better. When you want to compare two things that this one is better than other, you need to know how to make sentence. iPhone is better. Better, Americans say better, or British say better. iPhone is better than, for example, Samsung. Or sometimes we can use the word of compare to. Mercedes is far better and very much. Here means not بعيد, means too much. Far better compared to BMW. Compared to, and this one شوية may be difficult for you, but it is very easy to learn. And we taught you in foundation. Or here, when you want to compare and contrast, these are some sentences. For example, on the other hand, how to use on the other hand. These sentences also can help you for those students who want to get a high band score. Okay, or while, how to use while. So you need to make sentences with while. Then you can learn how to use it. Female students are very interested in learning English while. Means yani but. Male students are not into English. Instead of saying but, you can use while. Okay? Or having said that, this is an advanced one that I prefer not to teach you right now, this one. Although it's simple, although, again, when you want to give two different ideas, although I was sick yesterday, although شوف the pronunciation, although I was sick yesterday, but I went to class. Yani you love that class a lot. You loved it, that's why you went. Although I was sick, although I was sick, but I went to the class. Okay, you should know how to use it in the other sentence. Using nowadays and these days, again, Shabab, is very important. Try to use it in your speaking. Nowadays, the majority of students, شوف, nowadays, the pronunciation is important again. Nowadays, the majority of the students do not have cars. Nowadays, the majority of students are not able to speak English. Or these days, if you don't know this one, you can use these days, not this day. These, nowadays, these days. شوف شباب, the pronunciation again. You need to be careful. Or when you again compare and contrast here, I believe English is more superlative and comparative. Okay, more important. We cannot say importanter. We say more important. Many students even don't know this. I believe English is more important than, not then. Then, غلط, than. I believe English is more important than Arabic. Then, or these days, the prices are more expensive than before. Maybe you're talking about prices and all these things. You can use these sentences, compare and contrast. These days or nowadays, the prices are, because we're talking about plural thing, it should be are, more expensive than before. Or nowadays, the majority of products, شوف, products. The majority of products are cheaper than before. شوف, cheaper. Here we use cheaper, but here more expensive. You don't say expensiver. Okay, you got to be careful. زين شباب? Cheaper than before. Or here, Muscat, maybe they talk about something, a country or something. Muscat is the best city in Oman, or the opposite of the antonym of best is worst. Kharban, the worst city in Oman, or the best city in Oman, or about the population, the most populated city in Oman. So you need to know some of them. Again, conditional, ya shabab. Many of you have problems in conditionals. Many of you, unfortunately. And I try to make it simple. You know, we have 4 types of conditional, but I try to teach you with examples, okay? Try to learn them with example, feel them, okay? Sure. If I have 50,000 Omani riyals, I will travel all around the world. If I have, sure. If I have 50,000, I'm not going to teach you the grammar and all this thing because this is not a grammar class. If I have 50,000 Omani riyal, I will travel all around the world. Or this one. If the government provides, yani give jobs, nobody will leave and go out the country. If the government, for example, sometimes you're talking about something and you said, yeah, the majority of people in Oman do not have jobs, or they are jobless. Jobless and you don't have job. The majority of people in Oman are, you know, jobless, unfortunately. But if the government provides and it gives jobs, nobody will leave the country. Sure. When you use if conditionals, such kind of with if word sentences, then again your band score will be better. But if you don't use conditional or complex sentences, of course you will be in 3 and 4, band score 3, 4, 4.5. So you got to be careful. Now, another one. This is a condition number 2. If I had 50,000 riyals, I would buy a Lambo. Yani now you don't have 50 riyal. You're just wishing something. You just خلي تخيل تعيشي. If I had 50,000 riyals, I would, again, here, I would buy. Again, here, you need to be careful with his had. If I had 50,000 riyal, I would buy a Lambo. Yani you are just wishing. I want one student to make another sentence with this because this is a nice one. Try to make a wish, for example, with a second condition, condition number 2. If I had. And after would, your fail should be simple, remember. Yalla, give me a sentence with this. Similar second condition. Anybody? Are you able to make a sentence? Give me an example. You can use the first part the same. No problem. But try.
If I had IELTS, I would complete study baccalaureate degree.
If I had the IELTS, certificate, I would complete my bachelor degree. Then I would complete. You said complete, صح?
Yes.
Okay, yes, that is correct. If I had the IELTS. Okay, but if you had 50,000 riyal, what would you do? Make a sentence.
Can I give the solution?
Yeah, sure.
If I had the 15,000 riyals, I would buy the G class.
Bina. I wanted to change use another word. Don't use buy. Another. I wanted to be creative. I would what? What would you do if you had 50,000?
Um,
سفر في I don't know.
I will
شوف
start.
travel
I would
travel
travel. أيوة. And travel should be ed or خلي simple.
خلي simple.
أيوة. Okay. Then absolutely correct. So sure, these are small nukat that you need to keep at your mind when you see would. Again, the fail should be simple. When I see did, the fail should be simple. If I see used to, the fail should be simple. Like this. See how we can make the language easy with some nice examples that we give. We will be able to make more sentences. But the main thing is that at least you need to learn one nice sentence and learn it nicely. Yani. If I had 50,000 riyal, I would travel to, for example, Iran. I would travel all around the world. I would buy, I would, I don't know, this and that. Lambo, by the way, yani Lamborghini, huh? They say it Lambo also. Okay. This one again is a wish. I wish I was rich so that I could help people. This one is a little bit difficult. I will not, but try to learn it. But then I will share you this PPT, this actually file. If I were a millionaire, I would help poor people. And here again, you wishing. If I was, Shabab, was aware, both of them are correct, but it is better to say where. If I were a millionaire, I would help poor people, masakin. If I were a millionaire, I would help poor people. Okay, shuf. Now, maybe they ask you a question like this. Now, shuf, how we can use this conditional in the sentence. Shuf, what is your favorite music? What is your favorite music? Then the answer can be for example, my favorite pieces of music are rock and pop. But if you want to get a higher band score, but if I had to, again, this one you can, for example, memorize it actually. But if I had to, if I had to choose اختيار one, I would pick, yani choose. Here, pick, yani choose, pick. I would choose pop music. So you like two types of music, صح? Rock and pop. Maybe some of you say that I don't like music. بعدين شباب, I will tell you the strategies. Now I will not teach you how to answer it. Only I'm just trying to teach you what is it? How to use conditional. Okay? But if I had to choose one, I would choose pop music. This one is one structure that you guys. Okay, now we are done with the kalamat, with everything. Now imagine, Shabab, you are in the exam test day, all right? IELTS test day. You are in the exam hall. So what's going to happen? The first thing, of course, they will take your photo and all these things, and you need to have your ID card. And then they will ask you one by one to go inside the room. As I said that when you go inside the room, try not to say anything, but try to go with a smiley face. But these things does not add anything in your mark, huh? Don't think that if I be super polite and this and that, this will affect my mark. No. In IELTS, even body language does not affect tacit in your mark, or eye contact, looking at only the examiner. La. These things will not gonna add any marks. Only the way that you're speaking, this English that you are producing, this is important. So the first thing the examiner will ask you is, all right, they will say something, result today is this and this, and the examiner, the student ID is this and this. Then he will ask you, what is your full name? Again, some students say, ya akhi, full name? Mo yani full. Again, some students don't know the meaning of full. Yani complete, ya shabab, complete. What is your full name? So you need to give your full name. My name is Mohsen Amiri. My name is Sarah Ahmed Al-Kalbani. But some students say that my name is Sarah this and that Al-Kalbani, but you can call me Sarah. But you can call me Sarah. This is one tariqa that you can say that. Okay? My name is Sarah this and that and Kalbani, but you can call me. You can call me Sarah. Or sometimes maybe you say my name is Sarah this and that and Kalbani. Okay? Khalas. Do not say age, male, this and that. Akhi, this is not level 4-3. Khalas. Just give your name. Stop. Okay? Then maybe the examiner will say, okay, what can I call you? Call you, yani not call you this. Yani what should I call you? I mean your name. What should I call you? Yani what which name should I call you? Should I call you Sarah or Miss Kalbani? Which one? For example, he is asking like this. What can I call you? Then you should answer. You can call me Sarah. Okay? Understood? You can call me Sarah, for example. That's much. This much. Do not keep talking about age. I leave this and that. No, no, no. At all, abadan. All right. And then maybe he will ask you, all right, where are you from? Then you say, I'm from Oman. And no need to explain. In this part, no need to explain. You know, because this is before the real test starts. Okay. And then he or she may ask you, may I see your identification? Yani your ID card or something or password. Maybe you have passport. Then you say, sure, here is my passport. Here is my passport. Or here you go. Here you go. Or here is my passport. You give the passport to examiner. Sure, here is my passport. Then everything is clear until now, Shabab?
Yes.
All right. Oh my God. We started at 10 and now it is 11:30. There are so many things. All right. Now we reach to strategies. Now we just started the strategies. Shabab, whenever you feel that you are tired and your mukh is khalas ta'ban, tell me. All right? I will stop there and we can continue it tomorrow. Okay? Uh, so be comfortable. Just be relaxed. If your mukh is ta'ban, tired, and it is something like that, you can tell me, teacher, for today is enough. We can continue it tomorrow. But if you still have energy, I just covered this part and the rest of it we will continue tomorrow. So shall we continue? Everybody? How many students? Let me see.
Yes, continue.
Okay, so very quickly we'll go to strategies. So Shabab, what are the things that you need to do in the speaking part? Shabab, we just continue for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then we'll be done. So in part one, strategy. So these are simple things that, after watching so many videos, reading so many books, I came to know that these are the most important things that you need to keep it in your mind. Okay? The first thing, Shabab, you need to be confident and relax. Many students think that, yeah, this is a IELTS test. I should remember all those kalimat and I only should tell those kalimat and all these things. Then my mark will be good. No, don't think like that. Just imagine you are going to the coffee shop and you just want to talk with someone. Imagine in that way. If you think that, Ya Rabbi, it's IELTS and I have to remember kull shay that Mr. Mohsen or my teacher told me and I need to use those things, oh, your mukh will be kharban then. You cannot talk at that time. Don't think about anything at that time. Just be relaxed. Whatever it comes to your mind at that time, just say it. So be relaxed. Absolutely relaxed. Okay? This is nukta number one. Nukta number two. When they are going to, in part one, they're going to ask you some questions about yourself, about hobbies, about free time activities, about chocolate, about bag, about so many things like that. Okay? So when they ask you those questions, later on we will come to questions. You should not give short very short answers, and you should not give very short, not too short, not too long answers. So you need to be careful. But then I will tell you how to give. Okay, now I'm just telling you the strategies. Speak naturally. I told you بشكل طبيعي you should speak. You should not speak, hello, my name is Sara Al-Kalbani. I am from Oman, this and that. No, you are not a robot. You are not a robot. Try to speak in a very friendly and nice way. Okay? Show the examiner that you are talking very naturally. You are not memorize something and you are saying it. Pretend that you are talking naturally. بشكل طبيعي. So, as I wrote here, IELTS speaking is about natural spoken English, not academic English. They do not want a robot. They don't want a robot talking like a robot. They want to see people who express their ideas naturally in English. There, so be natural. Number 4, maybe some questions you don't know how to answer it. Okay, pause. What does it mean here, pause? Pause is different than hesitation. When you are hesitate any this you should not do this. Instead of that, pause. For pausing, again, there are some strategies. For example, okay, let me think about it. Oh, that's a good question. Okay, let me think about it for a minute, for a second. Let me think about it. Or I have never thought about it. I will show you these things. Don't worry about. Number 5, using synonyms are important, as I told you before.